with North Radio.
Guys, and action.
Yes, and welcome back to Hollywood North Radio. I am your host, Big Sleeps, and we have the infamous John Z in the building today. John Z from Hip Hop Canada. He's infamous, man. He's everywhere. He's contributed so much to hip hop in Vancouver, man. And I thank you for coming on the show, man.
I appreciate the intro. Thank you. Rest in peace, Mobb Deep from the infamous Prodigy from Mobb Deep. So I never thought I'd be in that same category as infamous, but thank you.
Well, but the thing is though, is like I've watched Vancouver grow as far as the social media aspect of people doing interviews and so on and so forth. Because I did it for a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to see you're still doing it. Your interviews are amazing. They're great, man.
Thank you.
Like you're good. Like that's where you actually have found your lane in one of those areas when it comes down to it. Just the support for Vancouver hip hop and just hip hop that comes to Vancouver and hip hop in general.
Yeah, I mean, when you say stay in my lane, it was always when I was younger and I had all my friends around me that were doing hip hop and always really creative in either breakdancing or DJing or graffiti or rapping. I wasn't ever really good at any of those things. So I was like, where do I fit in on this? I love the culture and I have all these people around me. But then I thought, well, I'm a good public speaker. I'm a good coordinator. I'm a good organizer. And I just wanted, at the time, I had a radio show just like you have right now, but we were on the FM dial when that was still like a relevant source of promotion.
Right.
And I just wanted to put on a show that represented local hip hop in Vancouver Island because I was in Nanaimo at the time, right? So like that's kind of where it all started for me, and it's nice to see the progression to now. But you just have to stick with it, right? I mean, it's great. I mean, I've known you for going on over a decade. Not to make you sound old here or nothing like that.
No,
but
I'm old, you don't have to make it sound
well
old.
over a decade, I should say. And it's just great to see the people who have progressed, like myself and others, who have stuck with this art form and just stayed in their lane and done it for a passion.
You started out. You said you started on Nanaimo, and that was I mean, that's close to. That's a while ago.
Yeah,
like,
CHLY Radio, 101.7 FM.
Are you doing 16?
I was about 17, 18. I'm 35 now. So,
wow.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's some years ago, man. So that's what when I say found your lane and actually keep progressing and pushing. I mean, it's not easy because, I mean, we don't have a million outlets to do that, especially in this city. So to be able to do what you do and continually do what you do, and your interviews are dope, man.
Thanks, man.
I want to talk to you a little bit about some of these interviews. I mean, I saw the one you did with Tech Nine.
Yeah, cool. I've done 2 interviews with Tech Nine, and they've both been our highest viewed interviews. I'm almost at, I mean, it's been years now, but I've almost had 100,000 views with the Tech Nine, and that's not like we didn't pump any money into that. Like that's just organic views, right? And like that was really fun because I think I'm one of the first people that did like a drink. Like
that's the one I like.
Yeah, because he's a big like liquor pusher, right? Like he does the Caribou Lou, which is this big drink, and he has a multi-platinum song called Caribou Lou. And so I looked online. I was like, nobody's ever like made this drink with him and had them walk us through making the drink. And so yeah, that was a really good one, and people reacted to it, and it was fun because you got to like feel like you're bartending with Tech Nine and making a drink, and he's just such a charismatic guy, right? I mean, that's a guy that understands roots. Like what you're doing right now is you're connecting to the roots of the culture with the radio. He really understands grassroots, and no matter how many albums he sells, he's an independent artist, right?
Yeah,
and he really does understand about connecting with local publications and outlets like myself or other outlets that he connects with, and so we did that. We also did another one when he came through, and we did the KCT, which was the Hennessy and Sprite with lemon, and that was good. That was good. He was hungover when he was doing that interview, but he still rocked it out with us. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing that with Tech Nine.
So we're gonna take it back to for those of you who know about Jurassic 5 back in the day. So you had an opportunity to interview Charlie Tuna.
Yeah.
And I met him a couple times. He is mad cool.
Very cool.
You know what I mean?
And he really loves BC. Like he loves British Columbia. He's always out here, like, because I interviewed him at Shambhala, which is a music festival that happens in the Kootenays every August. And so I met him up there, and he collaborates with local producers, the Funk Hunters. I mean, he plays Commodore all the time, and so yeah, Charlie Tuna is definitely somebody that loves this area. He gets a lot of great shows and a lot of love out here, and he gives that back. And I really like that interview just because he's just speaking from the heart, right? I mean, he literally landed at Shambhala, and we interviewed him 2 hours after he got in, and I just like how he speaks about what's important to him outside of just music, like family and the fact that he's been able to sustain a career in music. And he goes, this isn't even like work. I'm in front of cameras right now having a great time. This is my job. I'm very blessed, you know, and I like people that understand that.
And then, so the 2008 Juno Awards, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about that, right? 2018. Did I say 8?
You did say
it. 2018 Juno
10 years
Awards.
ago at the Junos.
You had an opportunity to interview a lot of people, and you actually had an opportunity to interview Checkmate, Cardinal, and Thrust, Rascals for the Northern Touch anniversary. That was their 20 years, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, shouts out to those guys. What a milestone song, right? I mean, that's just such a trend-setting, pioneering song for Canadian hip-hop, and the fact that it's still relevant and still bumping, and people still get down to that song 20 years later. I mean, that just shows the longevity of a song like that. I see Checkmate in my neighborhood, and I'm always telling them, like, how much that song meant to me. And that video was cool because we wanted to cover the Junos, but we also wanted to pay homage to them, because it's like, the reason why Hip Hop Vancouver is here is because, you know, and other outlets is because of the work that those guys have done to put us on the map, right? So forever we got to, you know, pay homage to that, because it really did put Vancouver on the map, you know, as far as hip hop goes.
So tell me something. Like, if there was something about John Z that people didn't know, I mean, what would that be? Like,
well, something that they don't know about me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if everybody knows that. Like, I also do. I mean, you talked about it earlier in my intro, a little bit earlier on, that I do youth workshops, and that's a big part of my life, is that I'm very community driven and community based, and I love community based initiatives, and I feel as we get older in this culture that we have a responsibility to pass the torch to the younger generation in regards to hip hop. And I mean, I love seeing that now hip hop is becoming an actual teaching tool. It's becoming a curriculum, and people are, you know, if you can go and learn piano and learn guitar and violin, why can't you learn hip hop in an actual same like musical teaching structure? So for those that don't know, I coordinate the Youth Got Skills workshops, and that's through the YMCA, which I work at full time. And so that's kind of like the next progression of what I'm doing is trying to get the people around me that are talented in the multiple elements of hip hop, and putting on safe spaces for youth to learn that education.
And what got you into that? Was it something as a young child that you decided that you wanted to get involved with, or was it just something that just happened?
Well, it started with me wanting just to get involved with nonprofits and community-based work in general. So I just started volunteering. And then when I got my networks and built up through the different organizations that I was volunteering with, they're like, well, what do you want to do? I mean, outside of like what we're telling you to do, what do you want to do? And I said, well, you know, I said I always kind of want to be a workshop facilitator, but I want to coordinate an environment where I can bring in friends of mine and have them teach the art that I'm so passionate about, you know, because like I said, I can't do these art forms myself, or I haven't practiced enough to do them myself, but I can definitely bring in other people who can, right? And so it kind of just stumbled upon it, where I just was like, why can't we put this together? And at that time there wasn't a lot of hip hop workshops going on for youth. There's a lot more popping up now, and shouts out to that, but I think it was just a feeling of, how am I giving back to the community? What is my community service? What am I here to do, right? And I can't sit back and be a couchside critic saying, oh, the world should be a better place, but like, how am I making it a better place, you know? And so that was part of something that people don't know about me is I ran a half marathon, and I've never done that before. I'm not an avid runner. I'm not an avid jogger. It's 21K. I only trained up until 11, you know, and so that 18 to 21K was tough, boy. It was tough, but I did it, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And it's a great challenge for anybody that wants to put themselves through that. It's a really rewarding experience.
I'm still trying to get to 1K, bro. You know what I mean? So congratulations on the other 10.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit more about what you do with the YMCA.
Okay.
And I mean, if anybody wants to get involved with any of those programs, how do they go about that?
Yeah, sure. So it's the Youth Got Skills program, and if you're an artist yourself, or if you're a youth that wants to get involved with it, Okay, I could just give you it's just my first and last name at Gmail. Actually, I'll give you my other email. Okay, it's John Z, JOHNZEE at hiphopvancouver.com. So that's kind of my main email for a lot of things media related. But I have a work email as well, but it's too long and nobody's gonna write it down. So, but anyway, so just or find me on Instagram, John Z23. That's another way of going about it. So I'm always looking to collaborate with people who are pushing the culture forward. So it's one thing to be a really great rapper and whatnot, but can you work with youth? Can you transfer what you're doing to a format that is very elementary and simplistic and basic for the youth to get? Because if you just come in and start spitting all this stuff, they're going to be like, wow, how do I do that? And you got to really be able to break it down to like the ABCs. How do you count bars? How do you just rhyme words? What are syllables? I can't even say that right now. But what's word association? What's how do you structure a sentence? So you got to break it down. So, and the same thing with breakdancing, DJing, graffiti, all that stuff. So if you're somebody that wants to sort of take your passion and turn it into a youth format and work with youth, get at me because I got some opportunities.
That's great. So that's John Z23 on Instagram, and John Z at hiphopvancouver.com.
Yeah. Shouts out to my team at Hip Hop Vancouver. It's awesome working with those guys. They're just celebrating 10 years as well. So 2008 was the first inception of Hip Hop Vancouver. So we're celebrating 10 years of pushing this culture forward and being one of the main hubs for you to get information on hip hop music in Vancouver.
I see you got some.
Well, I was just writing to make sure that I didn't forget to like if you were gonna, because I know you do this like top 5 thing a lot. So I was like make sure that I don't just like get stunned and be like I can't remember anything. But yeah, so I just wrote down some artists that I thought were killing it right now. Like I mean, if you're wondering what hip hop in Vancouver sounds like or looks like, I mean, you got to look into like people like Ndidi Cascade. I think Def 3, he's an incredible artist. Junk, Mercules. We got Brevner and Stevie Ross out there. Shouts out to my boy Surreal in Nanaimo. He's got a new album called In the Nick of Time out right now, and I
like Surreal.
Yeah, and I like that he's combating mental health with what he's doing with his work as well, right? He's not just a musician. He is of course, but he's also a youth worker, a facilitator, and he's out there pushing mental awareness, I think, which is important right now as well.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Like Jeff stuff.
And there's some other people just like that are pushing the culture forward in general, like Table Tutors. I want to give a shout out to Table Tutors. I like what those guys are doing. They're pushing DJ culture forward, teaching people how to scratch and how to mix and how to juggle and just having fun, right? Because like the 4 main principles of hip hop are peace, love, unity, and having fun, right? So if that's not a part of what you're doing, I mean, you got to think about that, right? Is it fun? It's good to be serious, it's good, cool, but have fun, right? And Table Tutors are having fun. I like what those guys are doing with the culture. And same with Street Rich, the Street Rich Society. They're running workshops out in Surrey and Vancouver.
Yeah. Is that one? And then Kia's doing one too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Kia, I can't. Is that the drop? No, that Danny and Lizzie are doing the drop. Shouts out to Danny and Lizzie who do the Monday night. I think it's Monday nights. I might be off right now, but it's definitely a weekday that they do it. They do a drop-in program, and I mean Kia's always been doing. Kia Kadir's always been doing youth work.
Busy.
This is good.
So, and those of you who are listening in, we are talking with John Z. He's from Hip Hop Vancouver. You'll see him on a bunch of different platforms. He also does youth work and with the YMCA and community work. So. John, thank you for coming through. But I mean, thank y'all for listening.
Yo, I just want to say real quick, the homie Mo told me to tell you, big sleep, stay woke.
Thanks, Mo.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, man, thank you for coming through, John Z. Anytime, like I always tell everybody, you're always welcome to come back. Anything you got, you want to promote,
appreciate it.
Yeah, come through. This is an open door policy, man. So once again, thanks you all the love over the years, man. You've just been always a good, solid dude, and never been any kind of weird shit. Because people always thought because when I was doing the other one, there was some sort of competition. I was like, no.
Oh, really?
I don't give a fuck.
Oh, no. I mean, that's the thing with media is, just hip hop in general. It's like, it can be such a wide open lane, but everybody's got to compete for the same spot. It's like, why do we have to do that? Like, if you're a carpenter or you're a plumber, you're not like getting mad at somebody else doing carpentry and plumbing. Like, you just do your thing, man. It's like, there's enough room for all of us here, you know? And like, in fact, we need more. 100%. We need more people showing what the city's all about, So shouts out to you and all your media aspects and all your outlets, Absolutely. There's nothing but love in my heart.
Wicked. John Z, everybody.
Yes. Thank you.
Hip Hop Vancouver, go check him out. He's going to watch some of his interviews. John Z, this is Hollywood North Radio. And we'll be right back after this, and we'll be talking with Antoine, Baby Harry Calloway. He's going to plug in and get his guitar ready, and he's going to play some live stuff for y'all right here on Hollywood North Radio, where the celebrities come to play.
I had to.
I had to busy records. That was dope.
Yes,
bro.
little Jurassic 5, good work. Yes.
Hollywood North Radio!
Guys, and action.
Hollywood North Radio, where the celebrities play.
All right, cut. Guys, come on.